It's day 7 of the Radio Free Skaro Fluid Links Advent Calendar. Oh boy, it's a long one today. I don't even know who it is. It's Philip Cully has sent this one in. Here we go. It is this. In the past 15 years, you've grown from a small podcast into an impressively major outfit. Dear Mr. Burns, your campaign is running like a freight train.
This thing has already gone off the rails for untruths.
With things like regular Gallifrey One opener, as well as interviewing many Who luminaries and so on. Do you ever miss going to cons and just being a regular guest rather than having to perform commitments or seeking out guests for interviews?
We never did. We never didn't do that.
No.
And also, it's not like after we do our stuff and interview people, it's we're still having a good time and hanging out. So it's kind of not an if-then question is what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah. We like, the good denizens of the Springfield Steel Mill, we work hard and we play hard.
Exactly. Exactly.
Sometimes to CNC Music Factory, which is
always to CNC Music. In fact, it's required now.
Known to play in the lobby. I don't know if, like, whenever I go to like a World Con, which has been twice, although we were working that one, you and I, Warren.
That's true. Yes.
Doing the
and it was a lot of work, actually.
The opener, I know. So. And then there was the one and that was the only reason we were there, which is weird. But then there was the one in San Jose where I didn't do anything for, apart from, I think I appeared on a panel, except to show up and win a Hugo. And it felt like, this feels weird. Like, what am I doing here? Or whenever we go to like Edmonton Expo and we're not like, there's no Doctor Who guest or something, and we're just sort of like there covering it a little bit. We're not even covering everything because we're just there. I don't know.
I would have said otherwise a few years ago,
right?
Because I went to Comic-Con and I covered it as press, and I don't think I'd go to Comic-Con. I mean, if you threw a pass at me, I'd go, but I wouldn't go out of my way to go to Comic-Con unless it was press, just because I don't feel like sitting in line for 16 hours to ask questions when I can just do it and get paid,
right?
Basically. But that's more because, and I don't dislike anything at Comic-Con. It's just not high on my list. But then I've gone to Worldcon just as a civilian, and I enjoyed it immensely. But mostly I go because I'm hanging out with friends. That's the main reason I'm going to stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Or I went to a thing called CanCon, which I highly recommend anybody in the Ottawa or Ontario area, which is basically literary sci-fi, but Canadian mostly. And I was just there to learn. And so it was great for that. I just sat in panels and wrote a bunch of notes, and it was great for that. And everybody was really cool. So it really depends on the con, I guess.
I mean, I think podcasting is the only thing that makes me interesting. So if I went...
You could have just changed that to interested.
Yeah. So if I went to a convention, a Doctor Who convention, and just sort of like showed up and not did anything, I'd feel like I was just a nobody. And I would not feel
You'd
right.
feel like you weren't doing your job, because I understand how you'd feel about that.
Yeah. Like...
Because like if I go to a work thing, because I cover tons of conferences for work, and if I just sat there, I'd be like, I'm going to get fired. So I totally get where you're coming from.
Well, it's funny. Like, we know people in the UK, and they says, "Oh wow, I saw Chris Eccleston picking up eggs in the Sainsbury's today," or something like that. And it's like, well, that never happens to me. We have to get a connecting flight often to go see anyone tangentially related to
I've
Doctor
run across
Who.
a couple of Battlestar Galactica actors in the park,
sure,
because they live near where I do.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm in Vancouver,
yeah,
right? And it means nothing.
And so like if I'm going to go that far to be near people who are in Doctor Who and people who like Doctor Who from other parts of the world, yeah, I'm going to probably do stuff with it. Plus, let's face it. We are pretty damn privileged as podcasters, especially at Gallifrey One, to be able to do what we do.
Yes, absolutely.
People like will wait in line just to get, an autograph and pay for it. And like, just so they can have like, a quick 45-second bit of banter with the actor they're getting an autograph from. And like, we're lucky enough that we don't have to do that. So, as long as I can have conversations with really interesting people involved with Doctor Who, if the podcast is going to do that, then yeah, I'll still totally do it. I'll be doing that.
Also, you can go to Gallifrey One and do that very thing without being involved in any podcast whatsoever, because everybody there is cool, basically. So
yeah,
you're going to have interesting conversations about Doctor Who no matter what, and a million other things besides.
What do you think, Chris? What do you how do you feel about this?
Well, like I said, I can't. We don't really haven't really ever gone to cons and not done the work thing.
Yeah, imagine not doing it though. Imagine like going to Gallifrey one and not like having a
that's
live
just
show
it.
to freak out about and everything else.
Yeah. It's a lot less stressful, I suppose. But in some so like
Doesn't it make you feel alive?
Yar.
so I think of like Edmonton Expo, for example. Like you've had the privilege of being on stage with like Alex Kingston and Torchwood folks,
Jenna Coleman.
and so well, that was Calgary, yes, but still Jenna Coleman. But yeah, I don't have that. I don't have that concern at Edmonton Expo. So when I go, I guess I do go as just a normal person,
Right.
But we've done recordings together there, so we've still done the work podcast.
That's
thing.
true. Yeah.
So I don't know.
I know.
point.
Almost to make us feel like, well, we're podcasters, so we better do it.
I think the answer is we're the ones with the problem.
I think there might be at least a little bit of Schadenfreude, kind of like
Schadenfreude.
I wouldn't know what to do to go as just a normal human being. Like how do I occupy my time?
Right, I know.
Like I don't know.
Do I go to
Hang out with people and go to interesting panels. It's not that tough. Everybody else seems to do it, so I don't see how we couldn't.
Yeah. I mean, because it'd have to be things like that. Because like I'm not into the cosplay side of things, or maybe go to some of the group meetups. I don't know, but I don't know.
I mean, you do half that stuff anyway, so like I said, it's not that tough.
I'll let you in a little secret. My podcast recorder hasn't had any batteries in it for the past 5 years.